on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Saturday. Hope you're having an awesome day, although you probably are if you had a look at your portfolio this morning. As you can see, most of the coins are in the green today. This was led by a surge of a rally that Bitcoin had. Actually, Ethereum kind of started pumping a little bit before Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin kind of hopped on a couple minutes afterwards, but it doesn't really matter. At this point, everything's pumping. So we do have Bitcoin up 3.34%. Now, if you check on different exchanges, obviously this number is going to be incredibly volatile because right now, when you're having these crazy swings, maybe you're good at arbitraging. If you are, hey, kudos to you, but it's definitely really sparking a lot of green across the board. Now, the one thing I like to do is switch to the Bitcoin comparative just because I stay in crypto, so it's always good to know how my altcoins are performing in comparison to Bitcoin because my end goal is to hold as many Bitcoin as possible. Your end goal might be different. We all have different end goals. Maybe you want more fiat or maybe you want more Ethereum. I don't know, really. Me, I try to rack up Bitcoin. So if I switch to Bitcoin, you can actually see that there are some coins in the red, which means that in comparison to Bitcoin's performance today, your coin is down. Although you'll see they're very minimal, not much, 1%, 0.06, 1.6, 1.2. So for the most part, today, everyone is up. So we don't really have to talk about that. Although you do notice Bitcoin dominance is up as well, and the market cap has surged $4 billion. Now, I was going to bring up this article that was from, it's from Longhash, but it was according to data from On-Chain FX, and they were saying that 70% of the top 10 crypto assets are up this month. Actually, it's 80% if you remove Tether, and 28 of the top 50 are also up. Once again, removing those stable coins, you still result in 60% of all top 50 crypto assets being up today. Now, I had this all planned out this morning. You know, if I had recorded it, you guys would be calling me a hero and a genius, but unfortunately, I just didn't get it out in time. But I was setting up this because I noticed that we were getting really tight. We were really starting to coil. And every time that, you know, we sort of form these wedges and volume starts to drop, you see massive, massive pumps. So we had two things we were looking at. The first was this line right here. Now, why did I choose this? Well, it's because if we come all the way back here, it's provided pretty much the resistance this entire time, as you could see. And also, if we come over here, we had that psychological barrier of $4,000. Now, that's just emotional, right? That has nothing to do with the technicals. But the fact that we were able to break out of this and then also break through that emotional barrier, I knew we were going to go up. I mean, there's just no way we weren't going to go up at this point. So this is where we're at, guys. Great day for everybody. Now, so yeah, I guess I can't really talk about that. But one thing I do want to bring up, it's something that I haven't spoken about on my channel. You may be familiar with this, but for those of you who don't know, I want to share this with everyone today. And I want to talk about what is referred to as a golden cross. Now, what is a golden cross? Well, this back here is a representation of a death cross, okay? Now, what is a death cross? Well, we had this clearly back here in, when did this happen? March 30th, okay? And you can see right here was the signification that we were getting closer to it, and you had this massive sell-off, right? So essentially, what is a death cross? Well, a death cross is a technical chart pattern indicating the potential for a major sell-off. The death cross appears on a chart when a stock's short-term moving average crosses below its long-term moving average. Typically, the most common moving averages used in this pattern are the 50-day and the 200-day. That's what we're using, by the way. So the death cross indicator has actually been proven to be a reliable predictor of some of the most severe bear markets of the past century. 1929, 1938, 1974, and of course, 2008, which although I'm not happy to, you know, see these types of markets, but we did have Bitcoin rising from the ashes of the 2008 financial crisis. Now, this is a death cross. So, what is a golden cross? Well, the golden cross is a candlestick pattern. It's basically the opposite, okay? But just so you guys know, it's the complete opposite of the death cross, and it usually indicates that a bull market is on the horizon, right? Now, why am I bringing this up? Are we approaching a golden cross? We could be, okay? It all depends on whether you truly believe the bottom is in. I think at this point, the bottom, it could be in. It could be in, but let's be safe. Let's not get ahead of ourselves because for us to actually have a golden cross, we would have to have these two lines cross over each other. As you can see, there's obviously some time right here. Actually, they were getting a little close. So if they do cross, we might be looking at something potentially out in May, maybe when we're having the year leading up to the Bitcoin halving. So that's just something I wanted to also put on your radar, something that you can kind of keep in the back of your mind. maybe just to kind of, I mean, I don't really have to really make anyone like feel positive today. It's a great day in the market, but I just wanted to bring that up as well. It's an indicator that now that I'm aware of it, I'm going to keep my eye on it, and we'll keep looking at this as time progresses. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out too, somebody the other day on my channel in the comments, you guys were asking about this Bitcoin 2013 versus 2017 chart. Now, as you can see right here, this represents 2017, and I mean, we're pretty much right on track for the bottom. Like, and I know history doesn't repeat itself, okay? But I just want to point that out, that if history hypothetically did repeat itself, well, then we pretty much probably have already bottomed. And I'm not saying we're going to go straight to the moon. No, that's not the case. I mean, as you can see right here on the chart, these things go sideways for a while before they really take off. But I just wanted to point that out. That could be an indicator that times are turning around as well. I also want to talk about the chief executive, Dan Morehead, over at Pantera. Now, he was explaining that many measures, when you're looking at the underlying fundamentals, for example, they're much stronger than they were in the crypto winter of 2014 and 2015, right? I know we're comparing these charts, but he's saying that it's a lot stronger this time around, right? You also have Spencer Bogart. We spoke about this the other day, right? He was talking about the space and how it's got so much innovation and talent and capital. He explained that the levels of entrepreneurial talent and institutional interest hasn't ceded with the price, leading him to determine that this ecosystem is far from dead in the water. He even remarked that from a macro point of view, with rising debt levels, copious quantitative easing, globalism concerns, among other issues, he says that Bitcoin could be the most compelling asset in the world currently. Getting back on the topic of Pantera, they also concluded that it has become more than apparent that fundamentals have started to dramatically disconnect from the market's valuations of crypto. So moving forward, the company expects this sector to make strides in terms of blockchain scalability, as it believes that this is one facet holding back cryptos as a standard. Dan Morehead even likened the argument that Bitcoin and Ethereum can't scale to people basically complaining about TCP/IP layers in the early 90s, right? He's explained that with time and developments, we obviously know what the internet went from. I mean, we all know what it was like to have to use our, dial up in AOL, and, to think about even before that, how bad it was. I mean, you guys ever see those old instructional videos on how to send emails, right? I mean, it was just so complicated back in the day. So that's something really awesome to mention. And I also want to talk about what Travis Kling has said, right? Now, he's the former LS Equities portfolio manager, according to him, that fell down the crypto rabbit hole. Okay, so he says, bear market reminders, Bitcoin is the hardest money we've ever had in the history of humanity. Print this out and put it next to your computer. So what the heck is this? Well, let's have a look. So if you zoom in right here, this is from the Crypto Voices Global Monetary Base. And basically, it just talks about present base money and global fiat supply. So we don't have to go into this. It doesn't really matter. Okay, we all know, you can Google this. But the thing I wanted to point out is if you go down here, they also talk about gold production and Bitcoin production, and they compare that to fiat as well. And the key that I really want to point out is, this is really, I know you probably can't even read this right here, but if you look at this, market price per Bitcoin reflected in this summary is at 3,600. Obviously, we know we're much higher than the time this was put out. So you have a theoretical price per Bitcoin if the total absorption of gold, existing Bitcoin value plus gold value divided by Bitcoin supply, you could theoretically have a $450,000 Bitcoin. And I know a lot of people think that these numbers are crazy, but they're really not when you look at the data, right? Now, let's just assume a really crazy number, that somehow Bitcoin is able to gobble up both gold and fiat, okay? Well, then you would have a $1.5 million Bitcoin. Now, are we going to have it at the end of 2020? Is John McAfee going to have to eat his you-know-what on national television? Well, feel kind of bad for you, John. You might have to, because I don't know that we're going to cross that in just a year. But long term, it is very, very possible, especially with the fact when you have to consider that the dollar loses value over time. Don't forget, we have an inflationary currency. So whereas Bitcoin is very speculative, the dollar is guaranteed to lose you 2 to 3% annually. I mean, this is just This is just how it happens. This is how it goes, right? So just wanted to point that out. That was really good news. And also talking about what some of other people have said in the space, you guys might be familiar with Max Kaiser. He once talked about Bitcoin saying that it's like a monetary black hole, and he says it's going to end up eventually gobbling up all fiat as time goes by, especially if we have another financial crisis that continues to wreak havoc on society, right? So that is in his words. We also have Trace Mayer. You guys know him, Proof of Keys, right? He pretty much agrees with Kaiser as well. And he talks about anti-centralization. And he also talks about how it's been a mere 11 years since the 2008 recession, but that governments and societies at large haven't learned, accumulating $87 trillion more in debt. And yeah, it's crazy. He also talked about the fact that the Lightning Network and other innovative protocols have actually been, doing really well lately. And he even talked about holding Bitcoin and how he thinks that it's easily going to outpace any IRA or 401k as, the others may get nationalized as debt hits the economy harder and hyperinflation becomes the norm. So there you go. And for people that are saying that institutional investors are just waiting on the sideline, well, if you watch my video from yesterday, okay, where we talk about the massive amount of Bitcoin futures that got placed, you can check that video out. I will drop it in the description below, or maybe I'll put it up above if you haven't seen it. And basically, that goes into talk about how it is the biggest amount of volume that it's ever seen. Now, once again, we had a lot of comments below where people were saying, oh, well, those are bad because we had the Bitcoin futures literally come out at the all-time high and look what it did to the price, right? Well, I understand, but let's be real. We're not at 20K anymore. We're very close to the bottom. So I would say that those are longs, even though we don't know right now. Come on, let's be honest. They're probably longs, guys. And if they're not, well, you saw what just happened with Bitcoin. So if those weren't longs, well, sorry for you guys that just got wrecked with all that volume, right? So getting off that topic, talking about the University of Michigan's $12 billion endowment said it could increase its investment in a crypto network technology fund managed by American venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz. So in a statement, the University of Michigan noted that Andreessen believes cryptocurrencies are important area of innovation that demands further exploration and investment. He says crypto has become an important area of innovation and entrepreneurship that warrants focused attention. So the University of Michigan's investment comes a week after two Virginia police pension funds invested in Morgan Creek Digital's new $40 million crypto fund. You guys remember we actually spoke about that on the channel. Now, I also want to scroll down here. You also have Reddit founder Alexis Ohanian. He says he's unfazed by the current downturn, although today's a very nice day, clearly. He says, yes, Bitcoin prices are depressed, the speculators have fled, and that's great because the people who are now building on crypto are true believers. Some of the smartest people I know in tech are building companies that are built on blockchain. The hype is gone, the fervor is gone, but that's a good thing for all of us who have been in this space from the beginning. And if that's not enough to make you guys super excited today, how about the fact that Fidelity has recently become our latest participant in the Lightning Network Trust Chain. That's right. They say we and our research team at the Fidelity Center for Applied Technology have received the Lightning Torch from Wiz. Now, how cool is that? Also, I want to give a shout out to Wounded Warrior. I know you're always watching the videos, buddy. I really appreciate it. And he reminded me about the Blue Wallet that came out. I've been meaning to download it. In fact, Ivan on Tech did a live demonstration of it the other day. So I downloaded it. I used it. It is freaking amazing. It is so simple, guys. This isn't like a sponsored ad or anything like this. I swear, I'm just being realistic. It's like, finally, we have an interface that your mom can use. You know what I'm saying? So definitely check this out if you guys haven't. And yeah, if you want to show somebody how cool and quick Bitcoin can be, get them set up with the Lightning thing and just do it. Just do it in front of them and show them how awesome it is. Okay. Just wanted to just point that out and, shout out to everyone that's, been into the Lightning Network. I got to get more into it. I know. But, anyway, getting off topic. So, speaking about Bitcoin and other things, I just love pointing out when these centralized companies just do these stupid things, okay? So you have Venmo literally flagging somebody's account, and get this is why. A friend bought him a sandwich, okay? And he paid him back in Venmo. And then he got this email. Thanks for using Venmo. We're reaching out in hopes that you can help us to better understand some recent activity on your account. Venmo is a fully regulated money service business. Our compliance department implements the proper controls to ensure our payment platform is properly being used. To ensure this, we need your help in explaining a recent transaction. So, on this date, you sent a payment for the amount of $7 for Cuban. They say we're trying to understand your reference to Cuban. The purpose of the payment, including a complete and detailed explanation of what you intended to pay for and the establishment location, if applicable. Well, do you know what it was? It was a Cuban sandwich. It was a sandwich, guys. A Cuban sandwich. Yeah. But they're flagging him because the word Cuban is apparently suspicious to Venmo. You don't see Bitcoin flagging the word Cuban, do you? So just wanted to point that out, guys. Now, also, talking about this is kind of just a funny thing. So we got these guys called Straight Villain, and this is called Choke HODL, and it's a song, I guess about, like, crypto. Now, I don't know if this band is a full-on crypto band, but, yeah, you could kind of check it out. It's, what is it doing? You hide your life, but the overtold, and now it's time to see. All right, so it seems like kind of like a chill song, so check that out. But yeah, it's like a crypto song, so that's pretty cool. It's called Choke HODL. Now, also, do you guys remember that sextortion campaign that was happening, where basically people were getting this? And long story short, you basically get an email that says, I placed malware on an adult video clip that you were watching, and I turned on your camera, and I caught you doing the dirty, and I know what you were doing it to, and I'm going to send this to your friends and family if you don't send me $1,900 in Bitcoin, right? We talked about this. I told you guys it was a scam. It's not a new scam. It's been going on for quite some time. Well, it looks like they have actually found that these guys have raked in over $330,000 worth of Bitcoin, with the average victim coughing up $540. It's a shame, guys. It's a total scam. So, if you're, I don't care what you do on your personal time. That's what you do. But if you do get an email that says that they're filming you, ignore that and don't pay the Bitcoin. And honestly, who cares? Human beings are going to do what they're going to do anyway, right? So, moving on, off topic, one more thing before we get on out of here. We have 2 businesses in Ohio have actually paid their taxes with cryptocurrencies. And this is actually reported by State Treasurer Robert Sprague, I think might be his name, or Sprague maybe. Anyway, so he basically said that they haven't released the information on who these businesses were, but there you go. So we have 2 businesses have paid their taxes in crypto. So I guess that's a plus, right? Something to talk about. And if that doesn't make you happy before we go, how about Zoey's Pop Shop? That's right, she's got popcorn and ice cold coffee, and you can pay using Bitcoin. Now you gotta upgrade to the Lightning Network, Zoey. That's how you're really gonna get that, get those funds moving quick. So that's it for me today, guys. I'm sorry the video's out a little bit late today. I had a little bit of a hectic morning, and then obviously crypto pumped. So the video that I was working on showing you how it could pump, well, it pumped. It would have been cool if I got the video out, because then everyone would be like, oh, dude, you were so right. But yeah, I couldn't get it out fast enough, so I had to redo the intro. So there you guys go. That is it for me today. And yeah, thank you so much for coming back to the channel, guys. As you know, I do appreciate your support. If you guys hate watching ads on YouTube videos, I know you do. I mean, it helps the channel, but if you guys want, you can download Brave browser for an ad-free experience. If you use my referral link below, you get $5 worth of basic attention tokens to use on the platform. Just gonna throw that out there. And also to everybody who's been keeping their money safe, your crypto safe on your Ledger Nano X or your Ledger Nano S. Really appreciate you guys, using the links as well. And that is pretty much it for me today. So thank you so much again for stopping by. You guys freaking rock. Enjoy the green day. I always have to say, are we out of the woods yet? Not officially, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So patience is a difficult thing to come by, but as they say, it is a virtue, right? So that being said, thank you so much. Everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting, you guys rule. If this is your first time, definitely get subscribed. I do updates every single day, just like this. And I have no intention on stopping until this thing I'm either going down with the ship or I'm going to the moon. I'm not going anywhere. So you guys better get used to me. So appreciate you stopping by. Love you. You're freaking awesome. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto, and peace out.